Good
Oh,
evening. Oh, did you mess it up already?
false start, false start.
I'm going to keep mine going. That
No,
way
no,
the
no, no,
people listening
no.
to the podcast knows what's going on.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Three, two,
Oh yeah.
one, go.
Good evening everyone and welcome to Off the Cut episode 25. And up I'm changing it up. I'm going to see if this got a little more flow to it.
Oh.
Up in Canada today is Tuesday, August 2nd.
Hmm.
But here in the States, today is respectfully dedicated to the food of the day, ice cream
Oh,
sandwiches.
great
See, I
day.
was thinking by putting the food, like, at the end, maybe it's got a little more flow to it? I don't know.
Yes.
I gotta work on that,
No, no,
though,
no. I think you're right because you always say the food, and then
and you
I
get
want
excited.
to. I get excited. I want to
Mhm,
react
mhm.
immediately, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, no, no! I'm gonna like stamp on or like step all over the last part of his intro spiel.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I,
Well,
I like this
I
better.
still messed it up,
Ah,
and,
nobody's
I
perfect.
mean, you messed up. You didn't record
Exactly.
right away or whatever, but,
And I was also a couple minutes late today too. I mean, we're getting normally we start the stream at 7 o'clock or as close to as we can, and today it's 7:13, so we're a little bit behind.
well, we still got some viewers
Oh
or
yeah,
watchers, listeners, whatever you call it.
Corey's watching, right?
Yeah, looks like it.
Nice.
So, ice cream sandwiches, what are your thoughts on those bad boys?
Okay, I like my pizza. I like a nice gutter ice cream sandwich. Is that a tall can? No, no, no.
Bubbly?
Yeah,
No, you thought it was, though. They do
yeah.
sell those down here. It's blackberry.
Oh, blackberry, nice.
Yeah, it's a nice one, and
Yeah, I
it
like.
says "Hi You" on the top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A little flirty.
Mhm.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, I like a nice gutter ice cream sandwich, like the very simple vanilla in the middle, and then like
Yeah,
two
yeah.
chocolate cookies, bar form. But
Yeah.
I also like a nice high end ice cream sandwich. There was a place here in Toronto that would do
Ooh.
like big, massive cookies, like
Okay.
like
Yeah.
homemade cookies with like 6 inches in diameter at least, and then a big scoop of whatever ice cream you wanted. They smash them together. The cookies would be like hot out of the oven too, so they would melt the ice cream a little bit. Delicious.
This, to me, sounds like one of those things that would be right in line for a 1:30, 2 in the morning on a Friday, Saturday night when,
Oh
like,
yeah.
you're kinda done drinking, but you're
Mhm.
like, "Man, I could really go for a super unhealthy snack right now."
Yes, 100%.
That and, like, a street hot dog or, like, a street
Oh,
gyro or something
oh
like
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah. The standard one for whatever reason in Toronto is shawarma. Everybody would go get shawarma after the
Oh.
bars let out.
Oh, man, I forgot about that because you have such a, Middle Eastern culture and
Totally.
huge in Toronto.
Totally. And for whatever reason, like all these, for lack of a better term, ethnic restaurants,
Mhm.
they're always open so much later than anywhere
Mhm.
else. Like if a place is run by white people, it's closed at 9. But if it's
Oh,
like a recent
before.
Yeah, exactly. But if it's a recent immigrant, they're open until 3 a.m. and it's amazing.
Well, it's like here around, like, Christmas and New Year's and, like, all those, like, the big holidays that, like, every other restaurants close, like, you wanna go out to get some Chinese food on Christmas Day, like,
Yeah.
no problem, they're
Yeah.
open, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's the I have a lot of Jewish friends and they'll always do Chinese food for
Mhm.
Christmas Day because it's the only thing that's open.
Yeah, exactly.
And I had a tradition with the same group of friends on New Year's Day, or yeah, New Year's Day. We would also all go and get Chinese food together, like big, like family style meal, like 12 of us around a Chinese food table.
Oh,
It's
man.
great.
I could go for some Chinese food.
Yeah.
I feel like I always get the same thing though. Like I always get like the General Tso's chicken
Hmm.
and crab rangoon. It's
Ooh.
just classic.
Okay. Okay. I've never. What was that last one? Crab rangoon.
Yeah, crab rangoon.
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 I have never had that. I'm gonna have to watch for that next time I'm
Okay, so
in Chinese
it's
food.
like an appetizer.
Okay.
It's cream cheese, and then they take yeah, I already got you
Yeah,
with the
you got
cream
my
cheese.
interest. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then they, like,
And what
cut up
else?
pieces
What
of,
else?
like, crab, put it in the cream cheese, so it's like a ball of cream cheese, and then they, fold over, like, this, like, puff pastry kind of thing, and they deep fry it. So it comes out, and then they have, like, a sweet and sour sauce that you can, like, dip the crab rangoon in there, and it's like this crunchy thing, and on the inside it has like warm cream cheese with like bits of crab in it. Dude, it's phenomenal.
That sounds really, really nice.
It's good.
Okay.
And if you're getting wild, you take the sweet and sour sauce and then you get a packet of the spicy mustard and you put it in the sauce and kind of mix it together so you get a little kick with the
Yeah.
sweet and sour sauce.
Oh, I like
Pretty
that.
good.
My go-to order, I always do chicken balls. I love chicken balls so much for some reason.
Chicken
You
balls.
never had chicken balls?
No.
Oh, I wonder if this is like
Chinese chicken
I wonder
balls.
if this is like Canadian Chinese
Sweet
cuisine.
and sour chicken balls. What are chicken balls made of? What the hell?
It's just like a breaded ball of chicken, and you dump that
It looks
sweet.
like a chicken nugget.
Yeah, no, it's like usually they're like thicker breading than a chicken nugget.
Okay, I gotta find if my while we're talking about this, I gotta look at my go-to Chinese place. So what was it typically under? Is it under a chicken? Is it under like a chef specialty?
What, the chicken ball?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like a chef specialty or like an entree. Like it's a full.
Okay.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna look up a picture so
Ball.
that just
That's
sort.
so it's not showing up under chef specialty. I
Oh.
don't know. Ball. No, my place doesn't have it.
Oh wow, that's
But
weird. It's such a staple. I wonder if this is a difference between American Chinese food and Canadian Chinese food. There might be like
well,
regional differences, right?
neither of them are actually Chinese food.
No, no.
That's we know that.
Yeah. Some of it, like, like some things are, but
Some of it's close.
if you go to China, it's not like you're gonna find chicken balls at every restaurant
No.
there.
So I tell you what, next time I order Chinese food, I'm just gonna be like, "Yeah, can I get an order of the chicken balls?"
Try it. Yeah,
And
see what
just see what
happens.
they say.
Yeah.
See what they say. Okay, okay. Speaking of chicken balls, we have a new patron this week.
Ooh,
We got Brock. I'm gonna say Trahan.
Trahan. Interesting. I
Yeah,
like that last name.
yeah, yeah.
Well, is it
So
like
Brock, we appreciate the support, man.
yeah, thank you very much, Brock. That's awesome.
I think Brock actually, I know Brock. So when I was younger, I I always remember having to go to all this junk with my older sisters, right? You're the youngest kid.
Of course, yeah.
So you get toted around,
Hmm.
you know, parents are always working. So if one kid had an after school activity, everybody was going,
Yeah.
right? And so, you could do your coloring books, you could do, play card games, Uno, whatever. But eventually you got a little sick of that stuff. So along came, and I'm sure you remember these, like the handheld digital games, but it was only one game. So you'd get like
Yeah.
electronic, like Battleship
Yeah. Yeah.
or like Yahtzee or
Yeah.
something like that,
Yes.
right?
100%.
Great games. But after that, they got a little crazier and you could actually switch the games out.
Hmm.
Some people know this as Game Boy,
Do I ever?
right?
That was my childhood.
Yeah. And I know your everything console's got Game Boy games on it.
Sure does. Every Game Boy, in fact. Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance.
Mm.
Do it all.
Oh, but we're gonna get off on a tangent here. But anyway, so then I had acquired a Game Boy. And I remember one of the games that I got
Yeah.
was Pokemon,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And, I'm playing Pokemon or whatever, start going through, collecting them all as you do.
Hmm.
And I get to the first trainer,
Yep.
right? Believe it or not, the head trainer of the Rock Gym
Hmm.
is Brock Trahan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You- okay, so
Uh-huh.
now that you're done your story, when you started that story, I was immediately thinking in my head, "Oh, it'd be so funny if he did a Pokemon joke." Because,
No way.
yeah, I was like, okay, but he's clearly going in a different direction because you're talking about your sister and
No.
getting dragged around.
No.
And-
See, I'm pretty good at going on these roundabout stories.
yeah, you know what I just noticed though? I
What's
just
that?
realized that they chose the name Brock because it has the word rock in it,
Oh my god. You're right.
right? Because it was the Rock Gym, and Brock was the name of the guy.
And then Misty was the water
Was the
girl.
water one? Yep. Yeah. I don't.
That's all I remember.
Yeah, I don't remember any of the
Yeah.
other ones either.
Well, now I kinda wanna no, I remember, like, the forest or leaf person, they were named Sage.
Oh, okay.
So there's gotta be some correlation between the names. They're not that creative, right?
No,
They're
no,
like, rock person,
no, no.
Brock?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, great name.
yeah. S-
Speaking of great names,
mhm.
do you remember our other 3 great names?
I do. I do.
All
Okay.
right, who we got?
Well, I gotta say Wes the first time, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, because I always
Wes Willard,
forget Wes Willard. I always forget Wes. I apologize, Wes, but I'm learning. I'm learning. And then we got Corey,
absolutely.
of course, and then now I'm blanking on the third one. Dude, it's been a long day. Help me out here.
Okay, we got Scott Eastman at
Scott
Eastie's
Eastman.
Woodshop.
Yes, yes. I was talking to Scott like a couple days ago. Oh, my
It's
brain
tough
is.
though, because like some people message you and it'll be their like username. Some people message you, it'll be their name. And then the correlation between the two is always really hard for me if
Yeah.
I don't actively see them.
Well, the nice thing about Scott is even though his Instagram handle is Eastie's Woodshop or Eastie's whatever it
Yeah,
is,
it's Woodshop.
when he shows up in my DMs, it's Scott Eastman. So I know right away. And same thing with Corey too. Like when we're talking on Instagram, it actually shows their name, which is very handy.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
those are our top tier patrons,
Mhm.
which they, get recognized every single show. And all of our patrons get access to the after show, which dude, what last show, I think our after show last week was longer than the main show
I think it was. We had a
with
lot to
Scott
talk about.
Walsh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. And here's the thing about having guests, dude. Love having guests, but I never feel like it's long enough.
I know. Well, the thing is, you get going with somebody, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I want to know more. Like, yeah, what's your opinion on this? What do you think about that?" And yeah, I think Scott had a lot of really interesting insights into like YouTube and doing it right, and he's just an interesting guy in general. So there was a lot to
Yeah.
talk about.
We definitely got into the business stuff in the after show
Yeah,
last week.
after show last week was just all business, business, business. If you like
Yeah.
dollars and
But
cents, that's one you got to
yeah.
listen to.
Yeah. And then when you listen to it, you give us a couple dollars and cents too.
True.
That's how these things work.
Hmm.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, if you want to check it out, patreon.com/slash off the cut podcast. It's down below.
Heck yeah.
Dude, we got a boatload of Patreon questions to answer.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna have to definitely hit some of these in the after show.
Okay, didn't we say
Uh,
that this week we were just gonna power through a bunch of questions?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
let's start off with just right off top of the list. Like I
Okay.
said, not reading any or not pre-screening them, just hitting them.
Yeah.
What's the biggest mistake a new woodworker can make?
Mm, I mean, you could cut off your hand on the table saw. That would be a pretty big
Yeah, I
first
would
mistake.
say any sort of cutting off or removing of appendages, I would say would be pretty big.
I mean, yeah, like I was like semi joking, but safety is
No, seriously, I was
yeah,
dead serious. Yeah.
yeah. When you're first starting, like, and you don't know your tools, like, go so slow. Like,
Yeah.
really double check your hand placement. Think about the motion. Anytime you step up to a power tool, like, think about the motion you're gonna make. Like, is this motion gonna be safe the whole way through? Like, are you cutting into something with a circular saw and you're holding it on the other side and your fingers are below where the blade's gonna pop
Yeah,
through?
yeah, yeah.
Like, try and think these things through because it is really super easy to hurt yourself when you're using power tools.
You know what I've realized is that when I'm uncomfortable using a tool,
Yeah.
my like safety awareness is just like at 10 out of 10 red alert. Like
Yeah.
first time I used a table saw, I was like just so freaking focused on that, man.
Yeah.
But my biggest woodworking injury was, and like literally all of my woodworking injuries, embarrassing to say, are from the tools that you would not expect to hurt yourself on,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, like, dude, I can't tell you how many times I've hurt myself on my sander.
I was gonna say the exact same thing. So many times I've taken like all the skin off my knuckles or something like
Yeah.
that. Just
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
especially like the edge of the disc, a lot of the
Yeah.
time, if that catches your skin, it'll tear right through it real quick.
Or like I've done it before where like I lifted up the sander and then for some reason like I lifted up with my right hand and then for whatever reason, I hit, like, the edge of the sander on my, like, left forearm, and
Yeah.
dude, that cuts you like
Yeah.
crazy.
And
It's like a razor blade.
it sucks too because it burns its way through you. So it immediately like
Mhm.
feels like super hot. You're like, oh, I'm like
Yeah.
it's like kind of like the feeling of like scalding yourself on like a oven element
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
It's just like a friction
Yeah.
burn cut or whatever, but so we've all hurt ourselves on sanders.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I've never hurt myself on, like, a table saw or anything like that.
Yeah, never seriously. I mean, I've had like little like, cutting like a rabbit or something like that, like a little piece of wood will come back and like it'll hit me, but it won't, do any damage.
Yeah, you're like like, enough where, like, it taps you and you're like, "Oh, yeah. Shouldn't have done that one."
I once shot myself in the hand with a framing nailer.
Ooh, I've shot myself in the finger with nail guns before.
Yeah, yeah, that was fun. I was like nailing a 2x4 stud wall up, and the nail went into the piece of wood, deflected off like a knot in the wood, and then shot out and then just right into the palm of my hands. And I had to
Yeah,
pull the
so
nail out.
yeah, yeah, and that's what everybody thinks of, like, when I've told people that I've nailed my hand or finger, people are like, "Why'd you put your finger? Like, why'd you just nail into your finger?" I'm like, "No, you don't understand.
Yeah.
You were, like, supporting a piece or whatever, and the nail kind of went in and then took a big whoop,
Yeah.
like, left or right. Maybe it hit another nail, maybe it hit a screw, maybe it hit a knot or
Yeah.
just the grain of the wood and just kicked right out."
Have you ever seen like a nail go in and then just right back out?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's crazy. Like
yeah.
there's, I've I think I've said it before in some videos, but the inside of wood is not like a uniform material. There's all sorts of like
No.
hard spots and like low density zones. So nails can do crazy things when you shoot them in.
Especially in, like, construction lumber, like 2 by 4s and, all that kinda stuff
Yeah.
that
Try and take a screw, try and drive it into the regular part of a 2x4 and then try and drive it into a knot, and you will see it's like sometimes some like lower quality impact drivers and drills won't even be able to drive a screw into a knot because it's
it'll
so
just burn,
dense.
it'll just spin and go
Yeah.
"Boo,"
Yeah.
and won't be able to go in.
Yeah.
The same thing with, like, if you try to drive in the end grain,
Yeah.
it'll
Yeah.
feel completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, 100%, dude, biggest mistake, and this person didn't give us their name. Biggest mistake that you can make as a new woodworker is just, I'd say, just not being aware of what you're working on, like
Yeah.
tools and stuff.
Yeah. And then the second biggest mistake you can make as a woodworker is going online and lecturing other people about their safety practices.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear it. Like,
Yeah,
come
like,
on.
come on. Who are you impressing with that stuff?
Like, well, actually, you shouldn't. Your hand should have been here. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you. I
yeah.
appreciate it. Um, no, what's another mistake? I think we've kind of talked about this in the past, but one of the ones that I always tell people when they first getting started is like, don't expect perfection.
Mhm, mhm.
It's
Yeah,
just like anything. Like if you've never gone skiing or you've never surfed before, like
yeah,
it's the same thing. You're not going to be great at it at
yes.
first.
Expect to be bad and be patient with yourself. Give yourself time to learn and grow. And yeah, I mean, I think we've hit on this a number of times in the past, but set your expectations for yourself. Like, go
Yeah,
easy on yourself. Yeah,
you're going to make it work.
yeah.
You got any other mistakes that we can make?
I'm trying to think. I mean, oh, a good one is buying a bunch of tools you don't need, I think.
Yeah, dude, I'm literally working on that script right now.
Yeah.
Title of the video, and I already know. Title of video is going to be "Don't buy Milwaukee tools,"
Oh,
because
that's a good one.
people, if there's any fanboy, it's Milwaukee,
Oh,
man.
oh, 100%.
Okay,
100%.
and then the thumbnail, I'm gonna have a picture of a Ryobi drill,
Mhm,
a picture of like a Milwaukee drill,
mhm.
and then like a Makita or DeWalt or something next to it. And underneath the Ryobi one, it's gonna say expert. Underneath Milwaukee, it's gonna say beginner, and then underneath the third one, it's gonna say like intermediate. That's gonna be the thumbnail.
Are you ready for the tidal wave of hate that you're gonna get for that
Oh,
video?
dude, I can't wait. But the premise of the video is gonna be along the lines of like, there is no bigger mistake you can make when buying tools than thinking that I have to get X brand or Y brand. Like the brand is irrelevant to
Yeah,
what you're buying.
yeah,
And like the brand doesn't care about you,
yeah. Yes, they definitely do not care about you.
as I
So
know.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see how
and I
that
think
goes.
like when you're first starting out, like people kind of often send me these things like, which tools should I start with?
Doesn't
And
matter.
my response to them is like, well, I don't know what you want to do, so like don't
Yeah.
get the don't get like a kit of tools that you think you need to be a beginner woodworker. Think about the project you want to do and get the tools that you need to accomplish that project.
Yeah. Like if you want to build furniture, would I recommend you go out buy a combo kit that has a reciprocating saw in it?
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
You're wasting money.
yeah. I skip the combo kit entirely and just see if you can get yourself a nice used table saw. So,
Yeah, exactly. But all right, let's move on to the next one.
all right.
Uh Josh Tintner. Hey
Oh
Josh.
yeah.
What project is one that you are most proud of, either because it was super challenging or you just found it to be enjoyable and you can step back with pride and say, I made this?
Mm. Do you have a good one off the top of your head?
Honestly, the first time that I was like really proud of myself, like, damn, like I'm pretty pumped I did that was the very first chair that I ever built, like a good like maybe year and a half, 2 years
Yeah.
ago. Because, dude, chairs are hard.
Chairs are very hard. Not only do you have a lot of ergonomic concerns, like there's a lot of angles. Like nothing is 90 degrees on a chair, right?
No,
Um,
no.
but then there's also like just the construction of them is pretty complex.
Yeah,
Like it seems like an easy thing. It's like, oh, it's like a flat slab to sit on, a slab at the back, and then some legs. But getting that all to go together and be like perfectly straight is tricky for sure.
but the thing is, you don't want a flat slab.
No, no, not at
Have
all.
you ever sat on a flat chair? It's awful.
Yeah, it sucks.
But yeah, dude, chairs are tough. Like, honestly, like I love building furniture, but I never am going to build like a set of like 8 dining chairs for a dining room table.
No
Not a
way.
chance.
No way.
No way. I'm buying those all day.
Unless I can find a way to like make it on the CNC so that like the machine's doing all the work and I just slap them together at the end. But even
Yeah.
then, I would rather just buy them.
The thing is, like, for your chair, okay, if you had a CNC, you could carve like the seat base, so you can make like a nice seat dish so it's actually comfortable.
Yeah.
And I
But
don't know how to upholster anything, so like I can't add like a cushion or whatever.
yeah. Yeah, even like a seat base, like that's tricky. Like that's an ergonomic thing that you have to think like the shape of your butt. Like I don't know how you would possibly even begin to start measuring and carving a seat pan.
You have to do a field study. Just go out in the public and be like,
Can I measure your
"Hey,
butt?
this is for science. Can I measure and touch your butt?" Yeah, I'm sure you get people to sign up for it.
Oh, I'm sure you would, but it'd be not the people you wanted.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you got to make it fit for everyone.
That's true. That's true.
Every ass needs a chair.
Hmm.
Isn't that the saying?
If
Something
you say
like
so.
that. All right, what's one project? Let's get out of that one. What's one project that you've built that you're super proud of or just like impressed that you'd done it?
I think my desk. It's probably the thing that took me the longest to do. Like the one project that took me the most amount of time. And it was one of those things where when I started on it, there were so many question marks like, I don't know if this is gonna work, or I don't know if this is gonna go together nicely. And it all just kind of fit together. Like there's no point of the desk where I'm like, oh, I really wish I did that differently. It all just kind of worked. It came out better than I expected. And yeah, it's kind of my biggest.
So you're talking about the one that you're using now, your first like the big walnut one, right?
Yeah, what I'm sitting at right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I love that. I think that was the first well, it was the first video of yours that really like took off. So
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was the first thing of yours I had seen.
and I think that video basically like launched my YouTube channel, and
Yeah.
that's so it not only is it something that I use every day, not only is it something I'm super proud of, but it's also got like this nostalgia tied up in the video being so successful too.
Yeah, for sure. What's that at now? Like I remember seeing it was like 2 or 300,000. What do you
Yeah,
think she's at now?
I don't know. That's a good question. Let me check. Last time I checked, it was like 700,000, but that was That was probably like
Ooh,
6 months ago. Was the last time I
you're
actually
on your
looked.
way, man. Gonna get that first million. I
Yeah.
still don't think I've had anything hit over 200,000.
Really? I thought I saw one of yours. What about your Delta? The miter saw.
I think that's like 150. That's getting
Oh,
up
really?
there. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I don't know why. These tool review videos that I've done have
Yeah.
all done like really well.
Yeah. Oh,
But like I don't like I'm happy to do a tool review video, but I don't really have that much fun doing it. Like
right. Yeah,
I
tool
don't it's kind of
reviews
boring to me.
are tough because you're basically, I don't know. You go home, you like write out a script, you do like your opinion of it, and then it's like, oh man, I had to spend a whole day filming just to like regurgitate the thoughts that I've already written down on a page, right?
Yeah, I've already thought this out.
Yeah.
I don't I feel like I've already finished that thought. As soon as I'm done typing it, I'm like, I don't want to like say this again. I already did it.
Exactly. I wish I could just like copy paste my script onto my website as like a tool review blog post. But
Yeah, but then nobody's gonna read that.
no, exactly. Nobody.
Yeah. So how many
Uh,
views you get on that thing?
okay, 734,000.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I've still never had anything cross a million, I don't think yet. But yeah, that's
Do you get that YouTube play button in yet?
oh yeah, you want to see it?
Yeah, let's see here.
Okay, hold on one sec.
Oh, this is the big reveal. So everybody, if you want to see it, go on the
I keep it on the
YouTube live
floor
stream.
underneath. Oh, that's why you're talking.
No, 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 you're good. So I was telling people if they want to see it, check out the YouTube live stream where we have every episode where you can watch it early. Let's see her.
I keep
Let's
it
give her the glory. Hold it
on.
up to the mic so people can hear it.
I keep it on the floor underneath the couch in my office.
There it is. Boom. A nice crispy silver.
There we go. Now you can kind of read it.
Now you got to what you got to do is this holiday season,
Hmm.
just like when you go to your family,
Yeah.
just be like, "Hey guys, Sophie and I have a really big announcement." And like get them all amped up, all right? And just
Yeah.
like go on this long-winded story and be like,
Been a
"All right,
long time
Sophie."
coming. We've been
Yeah.
working really hard on this thing.
Yes. And then be like, "Sophie, do you want to tell them?" And she'll be like, "No, Zach, you do it." And be like, "Look what I got." And don't even explain it. Don't explain it. Just hold it up and then just like look at your family with your mouth open, like, huh? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? What do you guys think? And they're gonna be like, Zach, I don't know what that is.
I know that's just the funniest thing. Is like nobody in my family would know at all. Maybe Sophie's family might know a little bit, but I feel like her family's more engaged than my family is.
So let me ask you this genuine question.
Hmm.
Do your parents and like family and whatnot understand that what you're doing, you're legitimately making like a good stack of cash? Or do they just view this as like, oh, that's fun, Zach?
Yeah, yes, I think most of them think like, oh, it's fun. Like I remember talking to my brother-in-law's wife, which I guess is my sister-in-law.
I don't know.
And she was like, "Oh yeah, so like like maybe once in a while you get like free tools from a company like that. Like that's kind of what
Something
she
like
thought
that.
was the limit to it."
Yeah. And you're
Um,
like,
and yeah, I think my dad kind of has a concept of it. Like
yeah.
he knows to a certain extent. Like he asked me for he's like, "Hey, can you ask the Waltz if he if they could like send over like this is like new impact driver or something like that." Um, so yeah, I don't. Yeah, he gets
Yeah,
curious sometimes.
my parents are pretty much the same way. It's kind of like, oh, how's the woodworking thing going? I'm
Yeah,
like, ups and downs, have stuff. And they're like, oh, that's cool. That's cool.
yeah.
They definitely just view it as if it's just like a hobby.
Yeah. I think
And the
I'm
fact that, go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead.
I was saying I think I mentioned we were out to dinner with Sophie's parents and I had mentioned that I like hired a video editor to help me. And he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, so are you actually making money from like your online stuff?" I was like, "Yeah, a little bit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, you're like me. Like, I'm not the guy that's just going to be like, oh, yeah, I made $317,000 doing this
Exactly.
this
Yeah.
year. I'd
Yeah.
just be like, yeah, I make some money on the side. Like,
Yeah.
it's
It's worth
I
my
don't know.
time, I guess. It's good.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's worth my time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of of free tools.
Hmm.
I know last week we were talking with you and Scott about how you guys work with DeWalt,
Yep. That's
and I actually put a video out like a week ago, and the title of the video is called "How to Get Free
free
Tools,"
tools. Yeah,
not
I watched
clickbait.
it. I watched it.
I
It was great.
what did you think about those tips?
So I mean, it was so funny because I was ready to watch that video and be like, "There's no way to get free tools unless you have like an online following or something like that." And then I
I
was like,
proved you
"Oh,
wrong.
yeah, you proved me wrong." I was like, I was ready to watch that video and just crap all over it.
Yeah,
But no, you
yeah,
actually had some really dude. The one about going on Amazon and just messaging like companies on Amazon for
dude.
reviews. I had no idea.
Absolutely. Because how many times, like, you know how Amazon works?
Yeah,
All of the, so literally every single, if you look up like a drill, if you look long enough, you can find literally the exact same drill that companies will just pay a small amount of money to have a different logo printed
yeah,
on it.
yeah,
And they call it a different brand.
yeah.
What they call that, like white labeling or
I think so.
something.
Yeah.
So what'll happen is let's just make up a tool brand like Xavier Drills. I'm making this up.
Mhm.
Xavier Drills goes on Amazon and starts in a drill, like a drill listing or whatever. Well, their stuff is never going to show up in the search results unless they have like some reviews. So these drills cost them so little that they can be like, "Hey Zach, I'll send you one of these drills. All that you have to do is go and leave me like a 5-star review.
Yeah,
Boom,
yeah,
free drill."
yeah. The review is worth so much more to them than the drill is because if they can get climb the placement on Amazon, then they can sell. They can move more units where they're probably making a pretty decent margin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And that's why I put that one as number one because I wanted to show people that what I'm talking about isn't okay. Well, first have 100,000 followers because then it's just like everybody's like, I'm out,
yeah,
right?
exactly. I like that one, and I the example of an angle grinder is great too because a corded angle grinder is like I mean some angle grinders are a little nicer than others, but as long as it spins.
That's what I was, and that's what I was. I thought that was a great example, and I
Yeah,
legitimately got that by just going
yeah,
on messaging them. I was like, "Hey, can I have this if I leave a review?"
yeah.
And they instantly said, "Yeah," like pretty much, "Yeah, of course." It was in broken English, but I
Yeah.
still got it, and
Yep.
it works all the time.
Yeah. Some of your other ones, like the just being on like making a connection with brands on
Yeah,
social media and stuff like that.
that's a slow burn.
That's a slow burn. Like that one, I think you would have to go for a while. But I mean, again, you backed it up with like your bandsaw, right?
Yeah,
So
I never asked them for that.
yeah.
It
And
was just
also,
like I asked some genuine questions because it was like one I was considering getting, and then they
yeah,
messaged me. They're like, "Hey, we've noticed you've had a lot of interest. Would you like us to send you one?"
yeah.
I was like,
And
"Sure."
the testing tools, like the Festool one, I had no idea. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, so Festool's done that actually a couple times. So for anybody who hasn't watched the video,
Yeah, sorry, I should
basically,
be a little more clear.
yeah, shame on you. Basically, a while ago, Festool put out a post that they're like, "Hey, we have this new impact driver coming out. Um, if you'd like one, fill out this form. It's just a random lottery." It basically their selling thing was getting you on their email list. Is all it was. You
Yeah,
basically signed up for their email list, and then you were entered to win. Well, I wasn't gonna win this, but I was like, whatever. It takes me 2 seconds to do it. And then they messaged me and they're like, "Hey, you won. No strings attached. All that we ask is after 90 days, if you just fill out this like 5 question thing. I had to write like 2 or 3 sentences for each question.
yeah.
That was it."
Yep. I've actually it's funny you mentioned that. Timberland used to do that with me. They would like
Mm,
send me boots in the mail. They'd be like, "We know you work in the trades. We know you use boots." Like they would just send me a pair and then they'd be like, "Use them for 3 months and then fill out this form like
yeah.
when like let us know what you liked about them, what you didn't like about them, and it's just part of their product testing."
I was supposed to do that with Timberland, but they still haven't sent me the stuff that they're supposed to send me. But I also want to say, I posted this on Patreon, and we had talked about this in the past. So on that tool video, This was the first time, and I think the last time I'm ever going to do this. I took a sponsorship
Yeah.
that the deal was they pay me
Oh
$0.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
However, for each person who, like, signs up, then they pay me like a, basically a dollar amount for every person who signs up.
Mhm.
Definitely did not go as well as I had planned. Um, but I'll extend this offer. I already posted this on Patreon and I'll go through it quick. I'll leave it in the description and then we'll move on from there. For anyone who signs up, if you go to that video, sign and go to the link for the sponsor, it's for like a VPN identity theft thing. If you sign up for the trial and you send me a screenshot that's like the confirmation email or whatever, and then you can immediately cancel the trial so you don't get paid. I will send you a so you don't get billed. I will send you a $20 Amazon gift card
Ooh, I
because
like
I'm getting slaughtered from this thing, dude. I like there is no one signing up, and I'm like, oh.
Well, I mean, that video is pretty recent, so it's
Hmm, hmm.
I feel like it's got a great thumbnail. It's got a lot of info in it. Like it was just a good video, so I wouldn't be surprised if that starts doing views long term. What are
I
you at
hope
now?
so. I don't know, like 4,000 or something
Oh,
like
really?
that.
When I saw it on day one, and it already
Yeah,
had like
dude.
a couple thousand views. So I was like, oh,
It
this is
went, like, to the moon on day 1 and then just flatlined. So I tried to change up the thumbnail,
yeah.
and I don't know. I changed the thumbnail today, and I'm gonna see what happens.
Okay. Are you using TubeBuddy for that?
Yeah,
Okay.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll see what happens, but
Sometimes
yeah,
it
I don't
just
know.
takes a while. Sometimes you just gotta post a video and let it sit there, and you know, YouTube does its magic. It analyzes it or whatever, and then it sends it back to the moon.
And here's the thing, even what is it? Let's see how many days it's been out. It's been out loading, loading. This is great. This is
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
podcast material. I gotta get off my Wi-Fi because 'cause I'm talking to you. Um, there it is. It's been out for 6 days and 9 hours, and the click-through rate is 19.8%.
Holy crap.
Like, how is that not going to the moon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's massive.
That's
And then the average view duration is 7 minutes for an
okay.
11-minute
Oh,
video.
that's yeah.
That's pretty
Again,
good.
fantastic.
And it's sitting at 3.9 thousand.
Weird. I would watch that one. I bet that one give it like 2 weeks or something, and it goes to the moon.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But for anybody interested in that $20 gift card, I'll post like what you got to do down in the description of the podcast. If you want to help me out, be great. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And if no pressure, it's all good. I will tell you though, it's like an identity theft VPN thing. So they do ask for information, I think, like basically to validate your identity.
Gotcha.
They're not selling your information or anything like
Gotcha.
that. It's a legit one, but totally understand if people aren't comfortable doing it. No pressure.
Yeah. I've been getting a lot of requests to do like performance based
Mhm.
sponsorships, and I don't know. It's such a big ask to like I I'm fine like doing like the Skillshare one where I'm like, hey, this is Skillshare. I'm using the service. I like it. I'm
Sure.
fine with doing that. I hate the one where it's like, go to this website, sign up for this. Like, where it's like
Yeah.
a hard ask. I'd rather just
Yeah.
be like, I'm letting you know if you like this, if it sounds like something you're into, then you can check it out. If not, no big deal. Instead of like, go here, use my coupon code, sign up for. It's just it's a
It's
lot.
tough.
Yeah.
I had another brand I talked to, yeah, yesterday or something. I don't know, a couple days ago. Doesn't matter. It was I did one for them in the past. It was that Masterworks. It was that
Oh
like
yeah.
art
Yeah, yeah.
sales thing or whatever.
Yeah.
It's basically like an investment thing that you buy art or something. I don't know.
Fractional ownership of art, I think, right?
It's stupid. Yeah, whatever. But so they're like, "Hey, we wanna do another video," and I was like, "Great," because I got videos in the hopper, man. I'm
Mhm,
just ready to get them out there, and I was
mhm.
like, "I can get it to you in 48 hours." And so I was like, "Yeah, I worked with you in the past. You gave me X dollars to do it. I'm fine with the same rate." And so I talked to it was like a new guy, and he goes, "Hey, we're not actually doing like flat rates anymore. We're basically doing like what they call CPA, which is
Yeah.
a cost per acquisition.
Yeah.
So basically, I get paid on the amount of people that sign up. But here's the kicker, Zach.
Hmm.
When you sign up, you tell them basically, "Oh, I'm interested in investing however much money." Okay?
Yeah.
They would pay me $250, and you're thinking, "Oh, okay, that's not bad."
Hmm.
For everyone who signed up that said they would
Oh.
invest
Oh.
$100,000.
Yeah. Nice.
And then it was like it was like 75,000 was like $100.
Hmm.
50,000 was like $30, and then like 20 to 50,000 was like I think $13, and then under 20,000 was $3. Like, no.
Yeah. So here's what this company is doing, by the way, just for everybody. I'm sure you know, Eric, but
Yeah.
this is probably an advertising agency, I'm guessing, that you're corresponding with?
It's
Or,
actually directly from someone with a Masterworks,
oh,
email
really?
address.
Okay, that's pretty
Uh-huh.
rare because I was going to say what they're probably doing is arbitraging. It's like usually like a third party company that gets between you and Masterworks. And they're like, hey, Masterworks, will you pay us, if we send somebody who's willing to invest $100,000 with you, will you pay us $500? And then
Yeah.
they're turning around and going
Yeah.
to you and being like, I'll give you 250 for every $100,000 investment you send
Yeah.
us. And then they're just pocketing the difference. And there's literally zero risk for them.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess is probably that's what they're doing in a roundabout way. They just know that if somebody invests $100,000, that's worth X to them, and they're just giving you a small
Exactly.
sliver of that.
And then that's the conversation I had with a guy. I was like, "Hey, man, like I know what you're doing. I 100% understand.
Yeah,
I'm a business, you're a business.
yeah,
You're trying to mitigate risk. However, for me, that is a massive risk.
yeah. Not only
All
massive.
the risk is mine."
Yeah, not only, well, so I like to think about this a few ways. One, there's just your time. Like, you gotta film it, you gotta
Yeah.
edit it, you gotta put it all together, and you also have to attach it to video that requires a whole bunch of work. There's also a reputational cost too. Like,
Yep.
you don't want to just spam your audience with ads at every possible opportunity, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's there's like all these things, and this business is like, well, like, I don't know. It's just very disrespectful of your time and energy, I find, and your audience's time and
Agreed.
energy, frankly.
Agreed.
And so
Yeah.
I've been getting a lot of these lately, like similar types of things, and I'm just like, nah, you know what? Not interested. Like,
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
not
need to
worth
do
it.
it. Yeah,
And that's the thing, like we've talked about, we don't need to do it.
yeah, yeah.
But
I would
yeah.
rather just get my YouTube AdSense, and like that's fine. That covers my materials for builds. That covers the cost of my video editor, and I'm happy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. But yeah. And especially after like this whole with this VPN thing, the Aura thing that I was just telling people about that I
yeah,
didn't pan out whatsoever. I'm not gonna go out and be like ask more people to sign up for something to try to get me a couple bucks. I'm just gonna live in it. I made a mistake. People want to help me out on this one that I made a mistake. I'd appreciate it.
yeah,
Not doing it again.
yeah, yeah.
And
Uh,
yeah.
I've got one right now in the like that I'm corresponding in emails with this brand. They want to sponsor a video, but they have this. Not only do they want to sponsor the video, and they want like the regular kind of ad read, or not, yeah, ad read, but they have these specific things that they want me to do. They want me to like go
Yeah.
out into nature and use one of their products. They want me to film unboxing, and it's like all these different things. So I was like, that's like a whole day of shooting just
Yeah.
for this like little like 60-second like chunk that I'm gonna add on to another video. So I hit them with just an insane price. So essentially the F off price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Ugh, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, I looked in my background. I realized the whole reason I brought up that video
Hmm.
was to tell people that my one of my tips or whatever was if you want to get in contact with a brand,
Yep.
don't go to their website and like hit like contact customer service or
No.
whatever. Go to like their press release or like PR page or whatever, where they have all these industry things. And more likely than not, they'll have a contact information spot for the person who actually handles the press release. Well, so in my video, I literally show you, I was like, so if you want to get stuff from DeWalt,
Yeah.
Go down to their website, and at the very bottom, there's a press release thing, and then over here, here's an email address for their, like, North American press coordinator person. And I knew that was a person, but I hadn't messaged them. So anyway, I was talking to you and Scott last week about working with DeWalt,
Mhm.
and we had gotten to the point where we were just like, "All right," I think this is in the after show. We were like, "All right, do they pay you?" And you were like, "No, but I pretty much just like whatever tool I want, just no questions asked, send it to me." I was like, "Oh, cool. I should reach out to them because there's some stuff that I need." And so you had a contact that worked in Canada, and Scott contacted that person, was like, "Hey, is there a North American equivalent to your job?" You know who it is?
It's the same person you
It's
showed in the video, right?
yes.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I saw it.
It
I was
is
like,
the same
"Whoa."
person in the video.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So, like, I knew this was a thing, but it was just interesting that it's, like, such a proof of concept,
Yep.
like, I guess I reiterated it to myself that I was giving valid information.
Yes. I was like I was watching that video. I think I watched it after we did that podcast and we had that email exchange. I was like, "Damn, Eric turned this turned this around quick. Like he edited it
Oh,
all
no.
into wrote it out, scripted it out." So that was just
That
pure
video is almost a
coincidence.
year old.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's crazy. I
If
w-
you look at that
Actually,
section where I hit the blog post, it says, like, October 2021 or
oh, that's
something.
funny. I also figured it might have been old, or you might have faked it because you do a bunch of screen caps from your Instagram accounts, and I noticed it was like your old accounts.
Yeah, yeah,
And so
yeah.
I was like, oh, he couldn't have filmed that now. Maybe he had like old stock footage that he's reusing or something like that. So,
No, no, it was almost a year old. I've
wow,
been holding
crazy.
on to that one for a while. Well, it's because I had, like, it was done, I was ready to post it, and then I had that holiday promotion with Craig, which was
Yeah,
4 months long,
gotcha.
and then I had a summer promotion with Craig, which was 4 months long, and then, like, a couple of videos in between. I was like, I just hadn't gotten to posting it yet,
Yeah, yeah.
which isn't a bad thing.
No, not at all. It's a good way to be. It's nice to have a
But,
bunch of videos in the queue.
yeah, but that person, I reached out to her, basically just told her what I was looking for.
Yeah,
Basically, I mean, I'll be completely honest with the people listening. I said, "I am not interested in you paying me anything.
yeah,
I'm just looking for a long-term, partner where it's just like if I need some tools,
yeah,
you send me some stuff and it shows up in my videos." And she goes, "Yeah, sure. What do you want?"
yeah.
So she sent me all kinds of stuff.
Oh, really?
Check it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
I
man.
got that dude barrel grip jigsaw.
Oh,
Love it.
you got the barrel. I like the top handle jigsaw better.
I like the barrel grip. I'm playing around with it. I like it though. I
So
feel like I'm like really close to the blade.
that's true. You are much closer to the blade. The thing, it doesn't have a variable speed trigger though, does it? It's like an on-off switch.
Yeah, there's no variable speed trigger.
I like
That's
the
the only bummer about it.
Yeah, yeah. I could get into the ergonomics of a barrel, but there's no way to do or a good variable speed trigger on a barrel grip jigsaw. So that's why I rarely use them.
Yeah. But I got it. Here's my thing is like I know this is kind of a privileged thing to say, but it didn't cost me any money. So if I end up not liking it, like who cares?
True. I'm hoping that it came in the mail today. I haven't checked, but I asked DeWalt to send me their framing nailer, and so
Oh.
they'll probably actually like. So I wanted to buy a cordless framing nailer for the longest time, and I went on, Amazon, DeWalt's website, and I was reading the reviews of their cordless framing nailer, and everybody's like, it jams, it doesn't sync them all the way. So I asked my contact at DeWalt, I was like, hey, what's up with this? Like, I see that it's not that
Yeah.
well reviewed. And he's like, actually, we just released an updated version of it. Exact same model name, which is silly.
That's troubling.
So now they have one where it's, as far as I know, I haven't actually used it yet, so I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but the jamming issue should be fixed. It should be way more powerful, but they're still accumulating all these bad reviews from people who got the old one
Because
where
it's the same model number.
because it's the same model number exactly, and even some retailers are probably still selling the old SKUs. Um
Yeah, how do you know if you have the new one?
Exactly. There's the only way there's like some small physical changes to it. They're like, we changed the color of the dial. We changed like the color of this logo here.
Yeah.
So I have this whole product sheet that like says the small differences between them, but I'm really interested to try out this like new and improved one. But I was like, why would you silently update your
No.
product like this? Just give it a new model number, like, maybe give it like a slightly new housing and call it a new product.
Do you think it's one of those, like, they don't wanna admit defeat or what you get what I'm saying,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I think so, but just you're gonna move more units if you give it a new model number. Like, because even people who had the old one and were happy with it might be like, "Ooh, new and improved, like shiny new one," right?
For sure.
So I don't really see what the downside, other than maybe it's a marketing thing. Like they don't want to have to go out and like rebrand, like make new boxes and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Seems like a small cost to get away from some of the negative press of the old one.
Well, I mean, so far, man, I like the DeWalt stuff a lot.
D-
I
I-
mean, it kind of gets back to what we were talking about. I don't know if it was on the podcast. It might have been before we started recording. That the brand doesn't matter.
Brand.
But this stuff's great.
Yeah.
Feels nice. I like it a lot.
The thing about it's like I'm sure you're gonna find scenarios where Milwaukee's a little bit better here, DeWalt's a little bit better there, but it's all pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It's all in that
It'll
kind
be
of like
fine.
pro high end stuff. It's yeah.
Oh, dude, you know what I do love though? Do I got it here? Oh, I do.
Oh,
Their multi-tool.
I need to get that.
So, for anybody looking at home, I'll tell you the model number is oh, that's obnoxious. I'm not going to read that.
Just
Just look at their atomic
yeah,
multi-tool.
yeah.
So if you're watching here, most multi-tools have this like awkward lever on the top that you have to like pick up, or they have the weird thing on the bottom that you got like fold out. This just literally has like a
Oop,
trigger right here. I just
perfect.
squeeze it
Good to go.
and then boom, the little thing comes straight out.
And the nice
It's
thing about those blades is that they're like a generic one. So I have a
yeah,
Bosch
it's
cordless multi
fantastic.
tool that I want to get rid of because it uses these stupid proprietary blades. Uh, they're called like
Oh, because the Bosch one is the one that has that weird like like what am I talking? It's like a really long like bolt thing that kind of like goes all the way down it or something, right?
so the way the Bosch one works is there's like a lever on it. You pull the
Yeah.
lever back, and that kind of puts it in like a cocked, like ready to go position. And then
Yeah.
you press the blade into it, and if you press with enough force, it springs and it just like locks it into position. And I know I'm
Mm.
not doing a great job of explaining how it works, but it's like a spring lock mechanism. And I was trying to do it today, and I had gloves on, and I was like, I can't even get this stupid lever, and I'm paying like $30 a blade because they're proprietary blades that are like super
Yeah.
expensive.
As soon as she sent this over, I opened it up. I was like, dude, that is
Yeah,
genius
yeah,
to have that little trigger on
yeah.
it.
You know what else I have from the Atomic line that I absolutely love is their little one-handed reciprocating saw.
Oh,
I've
I don't
been
know if she sent that. I haven't gone through the box yet.
you got too many tools you don't even know.
She just sent it was like a giant box, and on the inside it had like a bunch of DeWalt boxes, and
Nice.
I did get the leaf blower.
Yeah, is that what's in the background there?
I think that's yeah, that's a leaf blower back there.
Yeah, I
I was
want to get
screwing
one of
around with
those so
that.
I can just annoy all my neighbors in the condo.
Dude, that thing's got some guts on
Really
it.
does.
Yeah. But
Great
yeah,
for cleaning up
I was
dust
excited.
too. Like at the end of the day, you just roll up the garage door, blow all the dust out with a leaf blower.
What's crazy is you turn the handle on and it has so much force, it like shoots
Yeah,
backwards. Like you gotta hold it.
yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
Uh, let's see. We got time for another question.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were like, we're gonna do so many questions today. It's done two.
Oh, I got a reminder I dropped my car off. I already did though. Okay. N square woodworking. How do you deal with a situation when you're frustrated? Well, I'm always frustrated. Frustrated with a project not ending and feel like giving up. How do you deal with a situation when you're frustrated with a project?
Take a break.
So like it's taking too long maybe?
Yeah, I think
Or you're just pissed off about it?
I mean, I was actually talking about this to a friend last night. Sometimes you have expectations of like how long a project is going to take.
Mm,
You're
mhm.
like, I'm going to get this dining table done in 5 days,
No.
and then it's yeah,
Takes 5 days to mill the wood in my
yeah,
situation.
and then but then it's like end of day five, and you're like, I'm nowhere near where I thought I was, and you start getting frustrated, or at least I know I would in that situation. Like a lot of time, I'll be like, this weekend I want to get done this project, and then it's Sunday at 7 p.m. and I'm like, oh, I still have another like 2 days worth of work left to do on this thing. That's the moment
Mhm.
where I start to get frustrated and like a little bit angry and upset with myself. Oh no, my my webcam just died.
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought you froze. This
No,
is good
this
podcasting.
is
Well, we'll keep
great
talking
podcast.
anyway while you try to get that
Yeah, I
situated.
got some extra
Uh,
batteries behind me here. So you answer the question. I'm gonna get some new batteries.
no. So I definitely find the situation. This is weird not talking to you. This is weird. I definitely find myself in the situation where like I feel like a project should be going faster than it would. But then I kind of remind myself that half the reason that I'm doing all of this is to have fun with it. Like, sure, sometimes you run into the situation where you're actually on like some sort of sponsored deadline and whatnot. But for me, for the most part, most of my deadlines are fairly soft. Where if I have to have, say, oh, I'm going to have this August 10, it's going to be done. If I shoot them a message, I'm like, hey, I'm a couple days out. Can we do it August 15?
Yeah,
They're not going to care at
yeah.
all.
Y-
Unless it's for like this brand new product that's coming out and they want this whole batch of content that's, going to release all on this one day. So everybody sees everything all at once. But I mean, that's so rare.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you
It's
and I don't really do like a lot of just like hard product stuff
no,
like
definitely
we've talked
not.
about.
And I think I don't know. Most company, what I've realized that I think most people build some flex into every deadline. Like if you tell somebody you want to have X, Y, and Z done for Friday, it's really because you want it sometime Monday or Tuesday next week, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're trying to like build in a little bit of buffer. So I don't know. Most people are willing to give you a couple extra days if the
Yeah. And
situation
it's
calls for it.
and I know you don't work at like an office job like, your standard corporate job, but one of my go-to tactics, and everybody knows this, is if somebody goes, "Hey Zach, can you give me this TPS report?" And then you immediately respond with, "Oh man, I can put it on my list.
Yeah,
Not sure when I'm gonna be able to get to it."
yeah,
And people are like, "Oh no, I know you're really busy." You're like, "Yeah, I don't know, next week?"
yeah.
And then really, I mean, you could finish it in the next hour or 2.
Well, and that's kind of what I'm saying, right? Like, there's always a little bit of buffer in what everybody
Yeah.
says. Yeah,
You never wanna be the guy that's like, "What time is it? 8:09? I have that to you at 8:31?" Because then if you get it to them late, then they're like, "Well, dude, you told me you're gonna get it to me at 8:31."
exactly. Well, I mean, classic over or under promise, over deliver. Like, say you're gonna
Is
get
that
it
what
to them
something
next
like that?
week, and then put it on their desk first thing the next morning,
Mhm,
and they're like,
mhm.
"Oh my god, I wasn't expecting this. Oh, this makes my life so much easier." Right?
Does that also work with girlfriends?
Oh, good question. I don't
Under
know.
promise, over deliver. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. Could you be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, we're gonna get, Taco Bell tonight,
And then you
but
take them to the
really
nice
we're going
Mexican
to
place.
the next Mexican place."
Yeah, I
Huh?
mean, I think
Huh?
I think we talk about this in the last episode about like setting expectations with your partner. Like if you
Oh,
say,
yeah, we did.
yeah, if you say like, oh, I'm gonna be done by 5 o'clock, and then
Be done.
be done by 5 o'clock, or but if you don't know when you're gonna be done, just be honest and say, I don't know, I'm really rushing to get this project done. I'm gonna try and be done as early as I can, but it might go kind of late tonight.
Yeah. The thing is you just have to over communicate.
Yeah, yeah. You got to let
And, like,
them know
sometimes
where
you
you.
feel annoying,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my
but,
girlfriend's always annoyed at me, so whatever. I just live in
yeah,
that
I thought
world.
ooh, man, you're walking a fine line. I thought you were gonna say, "Well, my girlfriend is always annoying." I
No,
was
no,
like,
no,
"Oh,
no,
man, Zach, that'd be the first thing we ever edited out of the podcast."
no. No, it's okay. She never listened to this. It's fine.
No, yeah, I know Miranda doesn't listen to this either. Let's get one more question.
Yeah,
We're only
let's.
at 59 minutes. We
Okay.
gotta give people the whole hour here.
Okay.
Double see, this scares me, though, because I don't read these questions anymore. I just pick one
Mhm.
because I start picking around them, try to make segues. Okay. Double Cesar wants to know, what are the biggest challenges in your shop and how do you work around them? Oh God,
Oh,
everything's a challenge in my shop.
yeah, true, right? I'm trying to think. What are the challenges? I mean, in the summertime, temperature is a challenge for me. It gets so hot in there, and I feel bad saying this because I'm like the spoiled Canadian. It's like I start to like lose my mind as soon as it hits 90 degrees, and I know you're in there
Yeah.
working at 110. So
Oh, easy.
yeah,
Yeah.
if I'm even
I'm
slightly uncomfortable, I'm like, this is the worst. I can't do this. I quit.
get sassy Zach comes out.
Yeah, exactly right. Um,
So let's talk about that.
yeah. What
You
temperature?
you don't have air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with it? Genuinely.
To wear shorts and a t-shirt and just kind of sweat it out. I mean,
Yeah, you just get hot.
yeah, you just get hot. I drink lots of water.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, but to be honest with you, like if I'm focused on what I'm working on, I really don't notice that I'm that hot. Other than like literally I'll be like sweating through t-shirts and stuff, but
The only time that I actually notice it is when I do the talk to camera stuff.
I mean your head's sweating
Yeah,
and
my head's
everything.
sweating. I got like pit stains on my arm. I'm like,
Yeah.
I look horrible, and I'm like addressing an audience right now.
Yeah.
But
We just gotta lean into it.
yeah, it's true. It's true. I think I did the same video that you did about putting up those boards in my workshop, and I did that in the middle of like a heat wave in Toronto. It was so hot, I was so sweaty, and I just said like at the start of the video like it's a heat wave right now. It's really hot in here, and
Yeah. But I think people appreciate the like, oh man, like this guy's just out there sweating it out in his garage just like I am.
yeah, exactly. I mean it's real, right? That's why people come to YouTube. It's because
Yeah,
it's real. It's not
exactly.
like overproduced.
So we've got and I no, I'm the same way. My thing is I I have like the battery powered fans.
Yeah.
Great choice.
Oh yeah, maybe
Just to
I'll
like
do
get
that.
some air on you
Yeah,
definitely helps.
yeah.
Especially if you are sweating and then you get the airflow. Dude, it cools you off pretty quick.
Wick the heat away real good. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Okay,
Um,
so big challenge, temperature.
Temperature, yes. Winter, no problem. Winter's fine. I
You
can.
got a heater, right?
Yeah, I got a heater, so I
You get
can.
the radiant thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's just a boatload of layers. And
Oh,
my hands are always freezing because like I'm not gonna be you have no dexterity if you're wearing gloves.
yes, yeah. Especially like
Um,
thick gloves for working, right? And
yeah.
you're a tall guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like like with poor circulation or something. Like my fingers and toes are always
Oh
cold.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah, for
long
sure.
distance from the heart.
Yeah. So winter, you just wear a boatload of clothes and just again, just deal with it. Bring yourself like a hot chocolate or a tea or just some hot water or something like that. That get you going. Bourbon if you're doing
Even in the
sanding.
wintertime, I do keep it pretty cold in the shop. Like I like to be slightly on the chilly side, so I'll run it like 60 degrees in the wintertime.
Yeah. You just have a sweatshirt on, you'll be all right.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then you get going, you work up a little bit of a sweat. It's fine. It's good.
So another one I think everyone deals with, even if they have a massive shop. Dude, space, no
Space.
matter what size your shop is,
You
you
need more.
always wish you had X amount of more space.
Yeah, 100%. That's you grow it. You're like one of those crustaceans that grows to the size of its shell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah. No,
just
but
pile
it's
up more
true.
tools and yeah.
You well, you buy more crap or you just utilize your space in a different way.
Mhm.
Like in my head, I'm thinking, oh, dude, Zach, if I had your shop, I would have so much space. But then you see other
I'm
people.
looking at J Cats. I'm like, oh, if only I had a whole warehouse to myself.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, man, I feel confined and constricted with my space because you've filled out the space that you have.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, I would love to have like a dedicated like welding work area, not
Yeah,
just this little table that I wheel around. But it's like,
exactly.
yeah, it's first world problems
Um,
though.
but I think the way to get around space constraints is just being organized
Yeah, that helps
and
a lot.
only keeping what you need.
Yeah,
Like for space is a luxury
yeah,
for everyone.
yeah, 100%. I'm trying
What's
to
another challenge?
another challenge, another challenge. I mean,
Hit
keeping
me with one last challenge.
oh well now. No, I don't feel like the one I was about to say is good enough. I was just gonna say keeping it clean and organized, like especially dust. I mean, it's a wood shop, right? You have a
Yeah.
thin layer of dust on everything. I don't know. It really helps to keep things organized. Like keep all your tools in some sort of like closed storage area so that you can just at the end of the day vacuum off all your surfaces and just kind of hit the road.
Yeah,
Um,
dude. I am so now in the camp of putting everything in like a drawer,
A
a
spot.
cabinet, like a sustainer, something like that, and not just having a bunch of shit just there. Oh, we almost that's an hour and
Oh,
5 minutes
yeah,
in.
I know. Oh, well.
There it is. Okay, well, just not having stuff just like people are like those like pegboards where there's just stuff everywhere on the wall. To me, that's an eyesore and just
Yeah,
asking to like look dirty and
yes.
stuff.
Well, it looks great when you first do it, and then, smash cut to 3 months later, you've lost half the things. They're not up on the pegboard. It's all covered in dust because there's all these,
Yeah.
like, little grooves and stuff in it, and yeah. Just flat surfaces. If you have cabinets, put doors on them so that you can put your stuff in there, close the door so the dust doesn't go in.
I would actually take it one step further.
Oh, yeah?
Cabinets have the doors that open and then have pull-out trays so you can
Yeah.
actually get to the stuff in the back.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, great advice. I like that.
I
Um,
know that now you're kind of double dipping and you got 2 pieces of hardware in there. Adds up.
Whatever. Actually, yeah. You know what? I was built these like built these cabinets in the shop. I was like, oh my god, are drawer slides really like $40 each for the nice ones? And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, this cabinet has three, that cabinet has three, and it's like, oh my god, I'm
Yeah,
already up to
that's like
$500 in drawer
yeah.
slides. Yeah, adds up
And
so
I
fast.
bought a long time ago, when I built, like, my first, like, workbench thing, that I put, like, a million drawers underneath of it
Yeah.
because I was like, "Oh, this will be great." The drawers ended up just being horrible sizes and, like, couldn't fit anything in them,
You
but so,
I just want to say you want a nice big comfortable drawer.
it was, like, maybe 6 to 8 inches wide.
Yeah.
Useless.
By the time you like it's mostly just cabinet wall at that point, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I made it with everything with 3/4 inch ply, even the drawers, so
Yeah.
you're just yeah, you're hemorrhaging space like crazy, but I I lived with that for, like, several months, and I was like, "Oh, man, F this," like, I've got this is such a waste, but now I have 20 pairs of, like, really, really, really cheap, crappy Amazon drawer
Oh.
slides that are, like, the 12-inch ones,
Mhm.
and they're awful, but, like,
Can't throw
I
'em out.
can't bring myself to throw them out,
Yeah, what
but
do you do with
I don't wanna
those?
use them.
You could
They're
do like
terrible.
maybe like some like neat kind of like under table storage or something. Like maybe not like a drawer that slides out, but like just like a place to put your tape measure or pencil. I don't know. I'm reaching here.
Yeah, I don't know, but I to give you an idea, I'm this was again before like the inflation and stuff, but I'm pretty sure 20 of those drawer slides cost me maybe 70 bucks.
Oh, really?
20 pairs
Whoa.
of drawer slides
That's great.
to give you an idea of how awful quality they are.
I think I did. I'm looking at my desk and I remember my desk has six drawer sides per slide, so 12 total, or six pairs, I guess. And I remember it was like $300 in
Yeah,
slides. And
did you get
they weren't even like
undermount?
no, I used side mount as undermount. It was kind of
Oh
a little
yeah,
bit of a
I remember that. I
Frankenstein.
remember it now.
Yeah. But they're not even like nice slides. They're not blooms or anything. They're just Amazon kind of mid-range guys.
Dude, I can wholeheartedly tell you that for a piece of furniture going from now on, I would never buy anything that's not a high-end drawer slide anymore.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a dick saying this, but the price is irrelevant to me now.
Yeah.
Like if I
I hear
build a
you.
dresser,
Yeah.
100% I will buy all Bloom undermount drawer slides and spend $800 on slides.
I mean, there's probably a limit for me, but I know what you're saying. Like when you're investing that much time into something, the money becomes almost secondary, right? It's like
Yeah.
either this dresser is going to cost me $800 to make, and I'm going to spend 2 weeks doing it, or it's going to cost $1,000 to make. I'm still going to spend 2 weeks doing it, and the final product is going to be that much nicer. It's like the main thing is the time. It's not the money at that point.
Yeah, and the other thing is if you're doing client stuff and you have a drawer, the first thing the first thing that people are gonna do is they're gonna, like, pet the top of it and be like, "Oh, it's
Ooh,
so
yeah,
smooth." The second thing they're gonna do is they're gonna open the drawer and then close it,
yeah,
and if they have soft close, no matter how many times they've seen
yeah.
soft
Ooh,
close
ooh,
drawer
ooh.
slides, they're just gonna be blown away.
Mhm. It's so true. Everybody loves a soft close drawer slide.
Uh-oh. I just checked in on the, YouTube live stream.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
John from Lincoln Street Woodworks just checked
Oh,
in.
has he been trolling us hard?
He's just trolling us.
Uh-oh. Is he leaving us bad Yelp reviews again?
No, 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 no. He's talking about how we're expert ramblers and that we're not even in the after show and we've already gone on off on tangents.
I mean, he's not wrong. But
And then Jeff from Maker's Way said, "Did I miss the 30-minute weekly segment where we ramble on about sparkling water?"
yes, you did miss that portion.
We did talk about
Oh,
it a
that's
little
true.
bit
We
at the
talked about
beginning.
bubbly for a little bit. You know what? I swear to God, your can is a little different than mine. I think they've rebranded them in the States, maybe. Uh,
I don't know. I'm holding
yeah,
it up to the microphone.
to the microphone. I don't have any bubblies in the house right now.
That's ASMR aluminum right there.
All right, Eric, what do you say? Should we kill the main show and boogie on over to the after show?
Yeah, well, that's funny because you said that because as soon as you said that, Maker's Way on the live stream said, "Speaking of the after show." So you're right. Speaking of the after
Sure.
show, we're gonna head over there at
Mm,
patreon.com/offthecut podcast and continue on. We got a bunch of Patreon questions, some good ones.
good one.
I don't know, I haven't read them, but they're good questions, and we're gonna get to them.
All right, I like it.
All right, everybody, if you wanna meet us over there, I just told you
Hmm.
it's on Patreon. It's
There's
the
a
after
link in the
show.
bottom of the show, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Maybe.
Fairly positive.
Maybe.
I don't know. I told you I don't listen to our
I know it's so
podcast.
true. Me neither. Okay, so
But,
hold on. Let me try and do the whole spiel. Send us your
okay.
questions to
Yes.
offthecutpodcast@gmail.com. Send
There
us
it
your
is.
voice notes. I would really love to do more voice notes.
That was fun last week.
Yeah, the one before made my day. So what's that one? That one's at the bottom of Spotify. You can send us voice notes.
I think that's a link in the description. Do you want me to look?
Yeah, maybe.
All right, I'm gonna look. I'm fairly positive.
Check us out on YouTube. You can watch the live stream. Hopefully, my camera won't
Yes,
die
it's
next time.
in the description.
Okay, there we go. You can send
It
us
says send a
voice.
voice message, and then there's a link.
Perfect. Watch the live stream. Subscribe to us on YouTube so you can watch it live. Get the podcast before it even goes live on Spotify because we don't edit the live stream clearly.
Look at this guy.
And is that all the things?
I think so.
Okay. Or if you want, just send me a DM on Instagram with your question. That works too.
Yeah. Oh God, John said he's sending us a voice note. All right.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
well, on that, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna head over to the after show, and we'll see everybody next week, or we'll see you at the after show.
See you, everybody.
Yep. See you.
Alrighty.
All
Stop
right. We got
recording.
some. Do we got any things to do on the mid
Gotta-
show? Welcome everybody to Off the Cut Mid Show.
We got to name the podcast.